What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. Tapping back in with some updates, man. And in the midst of Snitchgate, right? That's what I'm calling it with all this thugga reissued audio that's viralized throughout the blogosphere with thugga. Up to them rad activities as well as all this other ish going on. It's like everyone's got a snitch now, right? And we done known for a long time, man. A lot of these rappers ain't as G as can be. Like they like to make it feel like it should be or is or was or how, they wanted everyone to think it was as far as the status quo with all the G'd up activities and, never read, never tell and all that. And, that gets into the whole street code debate. And, this is it we've talked about for the longest time. And, it was a bit of a shock to a lot of people that Thugger was talking like that, man, was loose lip like that. They say loose lip sinks ships. Let me know your thoughts about it all if you were surprised about Thugger and all that. But here's Wack 100 with some things to say. Now, we're going to get to what Wack has to say about it all and another op of his that he's taking a shot at here. But there's something else we got to talk about in regards to Wack, man, that I need to hear y'all opinion on. But first, this is he's reposting J Prince Jr. And he's got smoke with J Prince Jr., mob ties, rap a lot, anything out that way. That whole Larry Hoover situation over a piece of content that I think was supposed to be a part of a documentary or something like that. Wack started taking all these shots at J Prince, trying to come at him like he's, a foul individual and, not righteous and thorough as he claims to be and all this stuff. A typical Wack 100-ish, taking shots at individuals on a different level, talking real greasy, trying to, put tarnishes in their armor and say they ain't really who we thought that they were. But what about Wack? Is he who we think that he is? A flucked up individual who has a lot of rat-like COINTELPRO characteristics? I think so. Let me know what say you. But with J Prince Jr., right, it says this game is full of roaches and rats. If they ain't roaching, they ratting. And Wack says, is he talking about himself? Because he has sealed files. If he denies it, I'll expose him. Now, didn't this come out before? I can't remember if it was just about J Prince Sr. or if it was Jr. as well or what. But I could have swore this all came out and it was cappery. You know what I mean? But that's what Wack will do. He will literally post propaganda. And that's what I wanted to get into with y'all in regards to this other situation. Like Wack will just put spins on non-truths, if y'all smell me. And again, it's something else we got to talk about. It's about Munchie B. But in regards to this, he says, because he has paperwork telling on his 3 codees. Or is he taking a shot at Young Thug? He will never say, because he's one of the rats and roaches. He's a Roach Rizzy J Prince Jr. Put a name on it or your name on it because you fit in this description. And Travis Ford's in there laughing. What do you guys think? Is that true or is it not true? Let's see what the people are talking about. But this, like, just throwing cap out there and putting bullshit spins on it has got to stop, man. Look, this guy is saying, the old Spider-Man pointing at their self face off, right? And he at you. I know you see it. I respect that. So someone's like, yo, they stay calling you out. You can get on here and post and talk all this extra ish, but you ain't really like that, man. You know what I mean? You're just for social network. You ain't in the streets. You ain't nobody except someone who name drops like a motherfucker and gets the ish slapped out of them by what was it, dude? Tiny Draws at the Kanye show, where we've seen the breakdown of the footage and how shook Wack 100 looks, or when he was talking about J Rock knocked me out, blood, and all this other bullish. You know what I mean? And then he posted a fake fight with two random off-brand white dudes, like, which got exposed as fake. And every time you go back and watch that, it's so fake, B. Why you always commenting on something that got nothing to do with you? Is he talking about himself? Wack be following the same people on IG he beef with. Last my ass up. Yo, he does that too. Word of the wise. Anyone out there, you ever have issues with Wack, he'll try to like follow you and DM you all this bullshit, playing all these mental games with you. Like, B, nobody cares, my man. Nobody shook. Like, it's all capery propaganda and reverse goofy psychology. I know you don't go anywhere outside, do events. I'm not neither. Roach Rizzy. Man, I just feel like the hip hop community don't need no one speaking on something at all. Like none of y'all. Everybody a rag clothes who cares on the next topic. Now, that is indeed true. You know what I mean? There is way more snitching that goes on. Yo, this guy says, get Seti Nash. Seti Nash knows how to find the media. Just look at how he single-handedly destroyed Young Thug. Send the paperwork on both of them. So let me know your thoughts on all that. But this other thing is Munchie B. Did you guys see this? This is what I mean. I just saw Street TV cover this, and it's just crazy. Wack goes on the Adam and Wack show and just spits all kind of propaganda. And Adam may make little comments or whatever, but he allows Wack to use his show as just a propaganda machine, a propaganda tool, and it's getting a bit old. And with Munchie B catching this case, we seen Wack 100 and his little pocket holding, Jerry Rat Curl, Bozo Buster, Goofy, right? Who used to, all the Wack 100 sympathizers, they ruined it all. I'm so thorough, but I didn't tell. Get the fuck out of here with your goofy bitch ass, man. You know what I mean? Nobody believes you. Go throw Crip up in another picture again and wear blue shoestrings in your chucks and shut the fuck up and stop being afraid to take your do-rag or your broke ass Buster knockoff snapback, knockoff generic fitted off. Fucking fried his wig up, afraid to take his jammy off. You know what I mean? Looking like a cold goofy out here, like everything else he does. But now he runs around holding Wack 100's pockets, and him and Wack ran around putting this false shit out about Munchie B. Look at how many times he is OR'd. Yo, I always thought it was ROR'd, release on your own recognizance, right? Not OR, but what do I know? You know what I'm saying? And it turned out these dumb bastards were going off and all up in arms about these ORs and gun cases when they were looking at paperwork in the exposers, right? That's what Munchie and the Alex Alazo dude were pointing out. Like, yo, you claim to be this, big baller ass motherfucker, but you're using just random, Instagram individuals, random social network individuals who just ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean? You're like, yo, want to be my minion? Want to be Team 100? You present them to them as if it's something. And, they just run around spreading your propaganda. And as I pointed out, as far as with the 100 Initiative clubhouse rooms to have his name get in synonymously with all the different news topics, it worked. But there's also a lot of shit out there to show the inconsistency and lies that you're constantly pushing. It went both ways, and there's so much of it. Every time something comes up, there's all these clips, a digital footprint of Wack going back on things he said and just basically talking out of his arse paws and making all kinds of random ish up. But back to this ROR situation, it was the same one. So like each time he had a court date, the ROR or the OR was staying intact because he was going back, just like if you were out on a bail and you went back and bail remains, ROR remains. And they thought that was like 20 RORs when it was the same one. You dumb bastards, you dumb flux, because they aren't paralegals or anyone with a legal background. They're just some random individuals, going around Googling shit and paying Pacer subscriptions and shit like that, and doing half-ass internet research. That's it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the average individual can't read this stuff, but a lot of individuals are reading it wrong, and Wack ain't correcting them. He's just like, oh, look at all these ORs. Snoopy Badass, and Snoopy Badass does it too. Munchie B's the feds. Shut the fuck up. And the Munchie B, and the Snoopy Badass dude is a cold rat. It's like, you can't make this shit up. And at the end of the day, since we've seen this happen consistently and constantly, Munchie B, and then Munchie B called up and said, yo, what's the deal with this? And that woman, who sounded like a very beautiful black queen, right? She was like, yo, it's this new law. If they don't, you have to go back to court and they'll assess the bail. But in the meantime, you're out on an ROR. It almost sounded in a way that was similar to that of a 188 motion, in my opinion, somewhat. Different legal proceedings and whatnot are a bit different, but I think it's about like that bail, how everyone should be able to afford bail, and you have a right to bail innocent until proven guilty. But as far as for individuals, like civil rights and whatnot, they were ending up taking pleas and such that they wouldn't, just so that they can get out. That, like in New York, the bail shit changed, where a lot of people just get appearance tickets and all that, unless it's like a violent crime or whatever. And he called in, and the lady broke it all down for him on his own name, Scary Banks, and we heard the truth. And Wack and Munchie, Snoopy Radass out here lying, and they issued a challenge. Wack 100 needs to put up or shut up and run it with Alex Alonso. And Munchie B said 10 bands. Wack won't run it with him. We already know he won't run it with anyone. And I believe what Munchie is saying, that Alex Alonso would beat the brakes off Wack's ass. What's wrong with that? That ain't pushing for no street-ish. That's a single one-on-one, man. Man up, old school. Who's afraid of a scuffle, right? We know Wack is, because he's constantly, I need that fade blood. When I see you, we're running the fade blood. But no one gets faded ever. Just like I always point out, back when that Doc Hicks interview jumped off, after Wack got birthed by Stitches snuffing him, then manipulated him into rocking with him, the goofiest shit ever, just like this Snoopy rat ass shit where Wack been violating the fuck out of this guy. And the one good thing that Wack really did was that sit down with Snoopy Badass, where he told him to his face what a rat snitch he is, straight face to face. And then Snoopy sat there, you right, blood. You right. I should just be a dad. I ain't built for this gang banging ish. You right, blood. You ain't never lie. You right. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that, blood. Pause. And then next thing you know, Snoopy Badass never told on nobody. Yo, you told on someone. You ain't cut from that cloth. You ain't tough. You's a cold buster, man. You ain't no shriek eye. Just admit it. You know what I mean? We all have known it. It's all lie. Everything you say is all a lie. There's a reason why don't no one like your broke bitch ass. You know what I mean? Afraid to show your wig like a weirdo. But anyways, like Wack exposed him. That's the one good thing he did. But back to what we were saying, he won't run it with Alex Alonso. Straight up. Plain and simple. He won't do it. And they put 10,000 up. And Wack gonna back down from that one, I bet y'all, man. So hit the comments, share your thoughts about it all. Sub up. Like, this would be major, man. If Wack gets marked out and backs down from this simple one-on-one, he is far beyond the hoe that we already thought and knew that he is, not that we thought he was.